Welcome back, Scaratastic fans, to another spine-chilling installment of our popular True Scary Stories series. Our first story comes from a 21-year-old working as a cemetery guard. Late one night, as he's patrolling the grounds, he sees an old woman slowly walking along the sidewalk by a mausoleum. He exits his vehicle to inform her the cemetery is closing, but in the split second it takes to shut his car door, she vanishes without a trace. His search turns up empty. It's as if she was never there at all. But the paranormal encounters don't stop there. Over the coming weeks, he experiences a slew of unexplainable events: disembodied legs crossing the cemetery path, ghostly figures peering into his car windows at night, and eerie whispers emanating from darkened corners. Even more chilling, he discovers the cemetery has a history of grave robbers and satanic rituals. Is it any wonder the dead do not rest peacefully here? Next up, we have the tale of a home with a dark past. The house, built on the site of a former Chinese prisoner of war camp and ancient samurai battlegrounds, seems to be a magnet for paranormal activity. The current residents, a young couple, begin to experience a series of unsettling events shortly after moving in. Phantom footsteps echo through the halls at night, disembodied hands pull at their hair, and oppressive sensations of being watched follow them from room to room. Even their dogs, normally fearless, cower and whimper in the presence of an unseen entity. As the couple digs deeper into the history of the property, they uncover tales of torture, suffering, and restless spirits forever trapped in a cycle of unrest. One can only wonder what dark secrets still lie buried within the walls of this cursed abode. Our third story introduces us to a mother and daughter who begin to suspect their new apartment might be haunted. It starts with small things: doors slamming shut on their own, the sound of a music box playing faintly in the dead of night. But soon, the encounters escalate. The mother wakes up to the sensation of icy hands around her throat, glimpsing a dark figure looming over her bed. The daughter, too, sees the apparition, a woman with long black hair, her face obscured by a white mask with red markings. As the family delves into the history of the property, they learn that the previous tenant, an elderly woman, died alone in the apartment. Her belongings, hastily discarded by uncaring relatives, still remain scattered throughout the unit. Could it be that her spirit, feeling abandoned and betrayed, now seeks to make her presence known? The family, desperate for answers, turns to a local medium who confirms their worst fears. The old woman's ghost, bitter and vengeful, has attached itself to them. It will take all their strength and resilience to banish the entity and reclaim their home. Story number 4 takes us to the remote wilderness, where a group of friends gather for a weekend camping trip. As they sit around the campfire, trading ghost stories and roasting marshmallows, a sense of unease begins to creep over the group. The forest, once alive with the sounds of nature, falls eerily silent. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the tree line, a man, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, his face obscured by the shadows. He approaches the campsite, his movements jerky and unnatural, as if being pulled by invisible strings. The friends, frozen in terror, can only watch as he comes closer, his mouth twisted into a grotesque smile. And then, just as quickly as he appeared, the man vanishes, leaving nothing but a cold gust of wind in his wake. The friends, thoroughly spooked, decide to abandon their trip and head home. But in the days that follow, each of them begins to experience strange and unsettling phenomena: phantom whispers, shadowy figures lurking in doorways, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. It's as if something has followed them back from the woods, a malevolent presence that refuses to let them go. They soon discover the terrifying truth: the campsite, once the location of a gruesome murder-suicide, is said to be cursed. The vengeful spirits of the dead, trapped in a purgatory of their own making, now seek to claim new victims. The friends must band together to uncover the dark history of the land and find a way to put the restless souls to rest before it's too late. Our final story comes from a mother still reeling from the mysterious disappearance of her young son. It's been months since he vanished without a trace, last seen playing in the backyard of their suburban home. The police have no leads, and the trail has gone cold. But the mother refuses to give up hope. Late one night, as she's sitting in her son's bedroom, surrounded by his toys and photographs, she hears a noise coming from the closet. It's a faint scratching sound, like fingernails on wood. Slowly, she approaches the closet door, her heart pounding in her chest. She reaches for the handle, taking a deep breath before pulling it open. There, huddled in the back corner, is her son, dirty, disheveled, but alive. The mother, overcome with emotion, falls to her knees and gathers the boy into her arms. But as she looks into his eyes, she realizes something is wrong. The boy's gaze is vacant, his skin cold to the touch. And then, in a voice that is not his own, he begins to speak, telling her of a dark place, a realm between worlds where lost souls wander for eternity. The mother, haunted by the knowledge that her son is no longer truly with her, vows to find a way to bring him back, no matter the cost. But the road ahead is treacherous, paved with dark magic and ancient secrets. She must confront the very forces of life and death if she hopes to save her child from an eternity trapped in the shadows. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Scaratastic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling stories.